Hey, you guys. Welcome to Talk About It Thursdays. I am your host, Karen Bailey. Let me know when you're on. I would love to say hello to you guys. I'll give you about another minute or so to jump on, and then we're going to get started in the interest of time because y'all know I like to be timely because we're such busy people, and I thank you guys always for taking out the time to hop on the live and just hear what I've got to say. And I pray that you get something out of it. I know I get something out of it each time that I do a live, and each time that I talk about a specific subject, it always ends up applying, to my own life. And I thank God for that every day because God's word says, his word doesn't come back void. And when you do something and you do it, with God's approval, or you do it for God, God is always going to bless you. And it's not always money. And I get that. Sometimes it's not even about money. Sometimes it's relationships. Hey, Christia. Hey, beautiful. I hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. Dr. White's been asking about you. I've been praying for you. And I talked to Key the other day, and he told me you were doing better. So I am very grateful for that. And I pray you continue to get better. Last week we talked about after the rain, you guys. Rain comes in our lives, and once we've made it through whatever situation that is, what do we do now? And that's what we talked about last week. And so I hope you guys got something out of after the rain. And just know that my podcasts, they are on the page. You can always go back another day if you didn't have time. You can also go to my YouTube page, which is Encouraged and Empowered to Win with Karen Bailey, Sister I Got You. It's on YouTube. So I put the videos on YouTube. So either way, if you miss this time, don't worry about it. You'll be able to find the videos. So let's get started today. Our topic today is basically, hey sis, where you at? Where you at? That's a question we need to ask our friends. Hey sis, where you at? And we're talking about where are you at in life? Where are you at as far as your happiness? Where are you at as far as your peace and your joy? That's the where you at we're talking about. And I chose the photo that I did because a lot of times we have this picture of what we want our life to be. And if our life doesn't turn out just the way we want it to, sometimes we lose, faith in ourselves. Sometimes we lose faith in God. Sometimes, we start thinking that life is not going to get better. And that's not the truth. You can still have your best life, even if it didn't turn out exactly the way you wanted it to turn out. So today we want to talk about just looking at where you are right now, assessing where you are right now, and making a conscious decision that today is going to be the beginning of the best days of your life. Nobody can do that for you. You've got to make up your own mind that, yes, this has happened to me. Yes, I didn't like it. Yes, I was hurt, but that doesn't mean that your best days are not ahead of you. It's all in your mindset and what you choose to do about your life. And living with joy in your life is something you have to do on purpose, because simply things are always going to happen, you guys. Hey, Wendy. So you've got to make up your mind that whatever's happening in your life, it's not going to steal your joy. It's not going to steal your peace. But that's something that you and God have to declare about your own life. Nobody can do that for you. So let's talk about what the definition of joy really is. And I posted this on the page because when God gave it to me, I just couldn't keep it to myself. And I just saw so much in it when I was typing, and just revelation about my own life and all the times that I let people steal my joy. I let situations steal my joy. I let disappointment steal my joy. And that's something that I've made up my mind that I'm not going to allow in my life anymore. So the definition of joy is a feeling of great pleasure or happiness. That's your peace. That's the love in your life, the love in your heart. That's the kindness that God put in your heart. Sometimes you can be kind and somebody hurts you or somebody take advantage of your kindness and you lose your joy and you don't want to be kind to people again. Don't let people steal your joy. God put that kindness and that love in you for a reason. Don't allow other people to make you not use the very thing that makes you special. And a lot of times that's why the enemy tries to disappoint us, because he doesn't want us to use the gifts, the things that God has put inside of us, the things that actually touch other people's lives. The enemy hates that. He hates relationship. He hates the fact that you can come into a room or you can come into a situation and peace ends up to be the end result. He likes chaos. He likes fighting. He likes confusion. So of course he doesn't want you to enjoy the gifts God has given you. And of course he wants you to lose your joy. And your joy is also the confidence. You know, a lot of us, especially if we've had low self-esteem, it's taken a long time for us to get to where we are in our confidence. And you know the enemy doesn't like that. So he's always going to make you compare yourself to other people. He's always going to have somebody that's got something to say about everything that you do to try to knock your confidence down. But that's part of your joy. Your confidence is part of your joy. Your honesty. Everybody don't like you because you tell the truth. You tell them like it is. I tell people now, I said, you know, as I've gotten older, I'm at 55 right now. I don't have time to sugarcoat things with you. I don't have time to play with you. I don't have time to worry about if I'm saying this, you know, that if I'm telling the truth, now I don't have time to worry about if you're going to be mad at me because I told the truth. I'm not even wasting energy on that anymore, because if I have enough love in my heart to tell you the truth and you don't want to receive that, that's between you and God. And so your honesty, that good heart that you have, that person that does things right, that person that has a conscience about things and doesn't want to have to do things, that's part of your joy. And then that boldness that you have, that you'll speak up for yourself, that you'll speak up for other people, that when you see something that's not right, you know, you say something about it. That's part of your joy. Your individuality, the fact that you are like no one else in this world, that's part of your joy. You should rejoice in that God only made one you and nobody can do you like you. So rejoice in the fact that you're an individual and that you don't have to try to fit in with everybody else. You'll be okay even when you're by yourself. You don't have to change to be like somebody else. That's when you know you've got joy. It's when you stop trying so hard. Stop trying to make people love you. Stop trying to make people want you to come into their circle, all of that. Sometimes we are rushing into places that God is trying to keep us out of. And I had to learn that the hard way, you know, wanting to belong, wanting to fit in. And then when you get in there, it wasn't all of what you thought it was going to be. And then sometimes it's hard to get out once you've gotten yourself in certain situations. So your individuality, your creativity, that's part of your joy. That's another thing the enemy hates. He does not want you to be creative. When you creative, you inspire somebody else. You heal somebody else when you create. Your beauty is part of your joy. Your beauty, your inner beauty. It's great to have outer beauty, but when you've got inner beauty, when you have that glow about you, when you have that personality that makes other people feel better, when people hear your voice and they say, oh, I'm so glad she's here. So-and-so is here. Oh my God, I'm glad she's here. That's when you know that inner beauty is shining. It's coming forth. And then the freedom to change your mind. That's part of your joy. The fact that if you make a decision and you realize it's the wrong decision, you can change your mind. That's part of the joy that the enemy wants you to allow other people to take from you. But what we don't understand is nobody can steal your joy because it doesn't come from people. It comes from God. So the fact that you allow a person with their attitude or something they did to you or a situation, they didn't take anything from you. You gave it away because that comes from God. And so you literally have to give it away. Nobody can take your joy. And so living your best life is what we all want to do. You know, there were songs out about living my best life, you know, and a lot of what was in that song made a lot of sense. The guy was talking about how he don't have time to argue with you. He don't have time to deal with that drama with you. And I said, that's part of living your best life, is clearing your mind, clearing the way, and understanding that you don't have to get in everybody's fight. If people don't want to try to understand, if they want to have a bad misunderstanding, you got to learn to walk away from people and be okay with that, and just know you tried and be able to walk away. That's living your best life. It's you preserving your peace, you're preserving your joy. And we all need to be trying to do that. And living a life that makes you happy, also that allows you to walk in your full potential. That's living your best life. We have to be intentional with the way that we choose to live. And we have to live your life on our own terms, because at the end of the day, that's still your life. You can't live your life trying to make other people happy. You can't live your life trying to do what mama wanted you to do, or your sisters want you to do, or your friends want you to do. At the end of the day, you have one life, and that life belongs to you. So you need to learn how to live your life on your own terms. Seek God for guidance. Ask God to help you to make good decisions, but don't let outside people try to tell you how to live your life, because they need to be worried about their own. So you guys, that's part of living your best life, is you make decisions for you. Number 2, you need to level up to be the best version of yourself that you can be, whether that's with your health. Level up, do better. Sometimes we are so quick to make excuses for why we don't do what we know we need to do. We need to level up, you guys, because you're never going to live your best life doing the same old stuff that's not working. And I am just so guilty. Hey, Dee Dee. I am so guilty of that, and I am working diligently to make up my mind, because it's a mind thing. You have to make up your mind you want to live better. You have to make up your mind that where I'm not going back there anymore. But you're the only one that can do that. So we got to level up so we can be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. And no, it's not about degrees. It's not about titles. It's not about money. It's about knowing that you are doing the best that you can, and that you're growing every year, that you are being stretched, that you are basically letting your wings open, is what I'm saying. All of us have this comfort zone that we like to stay in, but you've got to spread your wings sometimes and get in some uncomfortable places to help you grow, to help you evolve. And then number 3, find your purpose. Find out what matters to you the most and start dealing with that. That's probably your purpose, the thing that touches your heart the most, whether it's children, whether it's the homeless, whether it's, women in crisis. That's where your purpose is, that thing that keeps bothering you, that thing that upsets you when you hear about it. That's probably where your purpose is. God may want you to work in that area of your life. So find your purpose and find out what matters most to you. And then number 4, visualize. Start seeing your life better. Your life doesn't get better until you can see it getting better. When you start seeing things happening in your life, when you start saying, you know what, in 10 years, I know what I'm going to be doing. In 10 years, I'm going to be doing this. In 10 years, I'm not even going to be living here anymore. And then you can start moving forward. But you've got to visualize yourself living better before you'll even make that first step. You've got to believe you deserve better than where you are right now. If you're not at your best life right now, understand that you deserve better, but you're the one that's going to have to believe that. You're the one that's going to have to keep speaking that over your life and visualizing how you want your life to be. And then you need to walk in it. Okay? And it helps to even journal and write those things down, what you want to do and how you want to be doing it. Write that stuff down. That makes you accountable, and that helps you have something to look back on as to, okay, where am I at as far as getting to ABC? Write those things down. And then 5, figure out what excites you. Figure out what makes you smile on the inside. And do that. Do those things more. Life is not all about working all the time. I know we all got bills we got to pay, Lord, I know. But you have got to find some time to have some joy. Life cannot be working and paying bills and go to sleep. You deserve better than that. That is not living your best life. That's surviving. That's basic survival. So make sure that you're doing some of the things that bring you joy, some of those things that make you smile when you think back on it. We know different things, whether it's hanging out with your friends, whether it's vacationing, whether it's, this, that, or the other, or helping other people, whatever it is that lights you up on the inside. Make time to do more of that. That's living your best life. Put those things out there that's going to bring you some joy. And then number 6, choose things that stretch you outside of your comfort zone so you can grow. It's going to be painful. You're going to be scared. You're going to be nervous, but that's normal. But it'll be worth it. Once you do it, you're going to look back and say, man, I was nervous about doing that, but I'm so glad I did. And God always has somebody in that area where you're trying to stretch yourself, that if you let them know that I'm a little nervous about this and I've never done this before, they'll walk you through it. They'll help you through it. God always, no matter what I tried to do, God has always had somebody. If I would open my mouth and say I was nervous about something, somebody to say, oh, it's going to be okay. I've done this before. You're going to do this, 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 and this. We've got to stop suffering in silence. You guys, open your mouth and let somebody know that you want to try this, but you've never done it before, or that you're anxious about it, or that you're nervous. Because once you get outside your comfort zone and actually do something different, you're going to appreciate the fact that you went ahead, and you're going to be proud of yourself for doing something different. And sometimes it's about going for that promotion at your job. Sometimes it's about starting a new side hustle. We all have our little side businesses we do. Go on vacation, or even write a book. To do, how are you going to accomplish all those things that you wrote down, all those things that you need your health to be able to do that? And then also, when we talk about health, prioritize your mental health, you guys. We need to not neglect the fact that our mental health is so important, you guys. Address those things that are causing you stress and making you stay up at night and causing in today. And she looks so pretty, had her hair done. Sorry, internet issues. I had a cute dress on, sandals, had her nails done, got her back to the room. She was smiling, and it wasn't until I asked her about depression that she told me that she was so depressed yesterday. So you guys, we cannot assume that people are okay. We got to understand that just because we look good on the outside doesn't mean everything's okay on the inside. And guys, I don't know what's going on with my internet connection, but I'm going to try to go ahead and finish. Number 8, we need to set boundaries in our lives with our friends, with our loved ones, with our co-workers. Decide what you will and will not accept, and stick to it. Stick to it. Good boundaries make good relationships. Number 9, take action. Stop talking about it and be about it. Don't sit around and wait for others to do what you need to do for yourself to have a happy life. Quit waiting for somebody to come along and sweep you off your feet. Be happy now. Do what you need to do to be happy now. Travel by yourself. Spend time with friends. Don't wait for somebody to come along and make you happy. You make you happy. You have the power to make yourself happy. And learn to encourage yourself. Okay? And make it a mission to make decisions that align with your goals, your beliefs, and then act on it. Number 10, figure out your finances. We all need to do better when it comes to our finances. Get our stuff together when it comes to our money so that we're not lacking. You got to control how you're spending your money, and you want to aim to live just a little bit below your means so that you'll always have extra money. Don't extend yourself with credit and get out there and get yourself in all kinds of trouble. Control yourself and get your finances under control. Create a budget and stick to it. And when you feel confident about your earnings and spending and your investments, you'll feel better. You'll feel like your life is better when you're not struggling and trying to live from paycheck to paycheck. And number 11, check your environment. Be intentional about your surroundings. Check the energy in the room and check the vibes of the people that you're dealing with. If it ain't right, you need to leave the room. Period. Leave the room. And you may have to change your surroundings. You may have to do something different than what you've been doing. Some of us, we just need to get outside more. We come home and we stay in the house. Nobody ever sees us. We don't get any sunshine, no fresh air. Change that, because your well-being, your mental well-being will be better when you get outside and get in the fresh air. Practice enjoying the simple things in life. Everything doesn't have to be a big ordeal. Everything doesn't have to be a big production. Everything doesn't have to cost everything. Do some simple things in life that can make you happy. And then plan activity dates. Plan to do stuff even if nobody will go with you. Go by yourself. Learn how to do things with your friends, with your spouse, and learn to do things by yourself. You've got to learn how to balance between the two, or you're going to start missing out on some wonderful things in life simply because you don't have anybody to go with you. Don't let people limit you just because they don't have the desire to do better. They don't have the fire to go get out and do and live their best life. Don't wait on anybody else, because you're going to get older, and those same old people that ain't trying to do better will have you sitting on the porch with them talking about everybody else. So don't wait for other people to live your best life. Do it by yourself if you have to. Okay? And this is why traveling is so important, because you get a different perspective on life when you go to other places and get away from your family and your friends. Number 12, organize your home. You want to live your best life? Get your house in order. That is your spiritual house. That is your physical house. That is the structure within your house, the hierarchy. If you got a husband, he's the head, then you, then them kids. Get that in line. If your kids are running your house, you will never have an opportunity to live your best life, because everything is out of order. Get it back in order the way God says it's supposed to be. Hey, Miss Christelle, get it in order. Organize your home. Set some boundaries. Let them know, in this house, we're going to serve the Lord, and it's going to go like this, this, and this. You have to do that if you want to live your best life, if you want to have joy and you want to have a better sense of well-being. Things need to be in order in your life. And having a house that's out of order, because that's your sanctuary. Knowing that you don't even want to go home, it's sad. I've been there to where I didn't even want to come to my own house because of the people living in my house and the chaos I was dealing with. And I made a promise to God, if He allowed me to get out of that mess, I would never allow my sanctuary, my home, the place where I lay and rest my head, to be a place of chaos ever again. And I've stuck to that, and I mean that. But you have to take control over that. And a lot of times we just need to do some cleaning. Get rid of some stuff at your house, whether that's people at your house, whether that's excess stuff, whether that's, just things that remind you of bad things that have happened in your life. Get rid of some of that stuff, those bad memories out of your house, and then get rid of people that bring chaos into your home. I've got this unwritten rule, and people don't know it unless they cross the line. You don't bring no mess in my house. You don't bring talking about nobody in my house. You'll find that out once you step over the threshold and try it, and I'm going to shut you down. And if you don't get the hint then you're going to have to go. I don't need all that bad juju in my house. My house is a house of peace. This is where I have to lay. This is where I have to pray to God and worship God. So no, don't bring all that mess up in my house. And get rid of clutter. A lot of times we hold on to everything, stuff that somebody else could be using. I'm bad about that, but I'm cleaning house. I'm getting rid of stuff, y'all. And understand that's going to be a blessing to somebody else. Stuff that you don't need, give it away so it can be a blessing to somebody else. It's going to be new to them. It's going to be fresh to them, and they're going to appreciate it. And then even if you need to rearrange your house, sometimes things have been the same way for so long. When we come in, it's so boring, or we come in and it's so depressing and so sad. Shake things up a bit. Change the way your furniture is. Change the colors on your wall. If you find that you're sad when you go home, it's time to make some changes. Let the windows up. Get some fresh air. Clean, mop, dust. Change out the curtains. Do something that makes it exciting for you to go home. Make the necessary changes. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can do it a little bit at a time, but make your home that place that when you pull up in the driveway and you put that key in the door, you feel a sense of well-being. That's what your home is supposed to be for you. It's supposed to be your sanctuary. Hey, Latoya, your sanctuary. It's supposed to be that place where you can find peace when you can't find it nowhere else. That's supposed to be your home. And only you can make it that way. Okay? And then sometimes you just need to keep a calendar of what you need to do. Sometimes our homes are so chaotic. Everybody's going different directions. Nobody knows where anybody else is. This, that, and the other. Stop that. Get organized. Make a calendar so that if Joseph has got a basketball game, everybody know Joseph is at his basketball game. If you got to go see the doctor, put it on the calendar. Everybody knows where everybody is. There's so much of disconnection in families now and lack of communication. Everybody's like, I don't know. We got all these cell phones, but don't nobody know nothing. Y'all, we've got to bring our families back together again and get everybody involved in everybody's life, because that's how you're going to keep peace in your home. If you don't know what anybody's doing, of course, it's going to be confusion. Of course, if you don't know, what anybody's going through in your house, this one's mad, this one's got an attitude, that's chaos in your home. And a lot of times, women, it's up to us to be the one to sit everybody down and say, okay, you've been griping at everybody this week, and I haven't hardly seen you this week, this, that, and the other. What's going on with y'all? And you have to be the one to sit down and make them talk so that everybody understands what everybody's got going on. Because a house divided will fall. And that's why a lot of families don't stay together. That's why the communication is bad. Kids move away and you never see them again, because there was no connection there. Everybody needs to feel important. Everybody needs to know that their feelings matter. Everybody needs to know what I'm going through. I can at least talk to my sister about it, or I can talk to my mom about it, or I can talk to my daddy about it. Nobody should feel like they in it by themselves. And that's what we've allowed our families to become, you guys, because everybody's busy, everybody's texting, everybody's on social media. I'm going here, there, and there, and nobody's talking to one another. And we wonder why the world is as crazy as it is. They've allowed so much into our lives with technology and have basically told us that we don't need to sit around and talk to each other. We can just text each other, or we can look on social media and see where she is and this, that, and the other. Y'all, we got to bring that back because our families are falling apart. And then number 13, consider your routine. If you're trying to live your best life, if what you're doing right now ain't working for you, consider your routine. And then you may have to either create a new one. And sometimes you got to break some old routines, some old habits. If your old habit is coming home from work, getting on the couch, watching TV, falling asleep, and you wondering why you're not happy. You haven't interacted with anybody. You haven't done anything productive. You haven't enjoyed your home. You haven't done anything but work, come home, and go to sleep. You can't do that for a continuous time and be happy and honestly say you live in your best life, because there's nothing there to challenge you. There's nothing there that excites you. So we've got to break some of those old routines that we've got, and we've got to create some new ones. And depending on what we're doing and how we're doing it, it's going to be how hard it is. Because some things are going to be hard to break because you've been doing it for so long. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. You just got to make up your mind that I want to live better. I want to live my best life. Okay, what can I do every day different? If you're working on your weight, what can I do? Spend 30 minutes, take you a walk, eat better, cook my food instead of going through drive-through. Hey Cassandra, it's up to you to make the necessary changes. And it's not going to be easy, and it's going to be baby steps, but you ought to see yourself progressing. And all I remind myself of every day is today is the beginning of the best days of my life. And what am I going to do today to make today a good day? What am I going to do to add to what's coming? Because I believe my best days are ahead of me. So what am I doing today to ensure that I'm adding and not taking away from that? So that's what I think of every day. And sometimes you may just need to loosen up. Maybe you're just too uptight. A lot of us, we just, I don't do nothing but sit at home, blah, blah, blah. You're too uptight. Everything that is going on and everything that is exciting can't be happening in your house. You'd be amazed of how many people you could meet if you would just get out of the house and just let loose a little bit. And I understand it's a dangerous world we're living in, and we all have to be careful and be mindful of things, but choose wisely where you go. But don't close yourself off by yourself in your home and think that that's all there is to it. There's so much more out in this big world, but you've got to be willing to get out there and cut loose a little bit and take a chance and actually enjoy yourself. And then stay intentional about your life. When you do take invitations, say somebody invites you to something, make sure you like them people. Don't go just to be going. I've done that before. I've gone to stuff that people invited me to, knowing them folks really didn't even like me. And then I wonder why I had a miserable time. I should have never said yes in the first place. Them folks are sometime and they speak to you. Then depending on who they're around, they won't speak to you and this, that, and the other. Stop going places where you're not welcome. If people don't love on you when you get there, those are not your people. And so we need to be intentional about what we do. We don't need to go out and then come back feeling bad about ourselves because we went somewhere. We didn't make a conscious decision about where we were going. And then 14, make a point of taking time for yourself each day. Even if it's for 15, 20 minutes, you deserve more than that, but at least give yourself some quiet time every day. And make that time just for you. And if you can get an hour in, that's even better. You deserve some downtime for as hard as you work, for as much stuff as you keep going and keep together. And we wear so many hats, ladies, that we forget we have to take care of ourselves too. So make sure you're doing a wellness check on yourself while you're checking on everybody else. Make sure you're mentally okay. Make sure you're sleeping good. Make sure you've eaten today. While you're checking on everybody else, while you're cooking for everybody else, you stop and eat your food. You stop and get some quiet time. You stop and take a nap if you need to. You have got to make yourself a priority because you deserve that. You deserve better. But like I said in the beginning, nobody can make you do that. But you've got to make up your mind that I'm living my best life. And sometimes living my best life means I need to take a power nap. That's for me. When I'm tired and I know I've been going and going, me treating myself to a power nap, that's saying, okay, when I get up, I'm going to be a better version of myself than I would have been if I'd have just kept going knowing that I was tired. So I'm trying to always give people a better version of me. And sometimes that requires me to take a power nap. Sometimes that requires me to get some quiet time away from everybody. Whatever it takes. We want to put our best self forward. And then 15, serving other people. Building relationships is an important part of living our best life and having a full life. It's something fulfilling about making somebody else's life better. Something fulfilling about meeting a need of somebody else's. It just does something on the inside because you feel like, okay, God, you put me here for that lady, or you put me there for that man at that perfect time when they needed, and I had what they needed. It's nothing better than being fulfilled by helping other people. And that's also how you build relationships, lasting relationships. because those things are reciprocal. You know, you never know when you might need some help, and God will always make sure you have the help you need simply because you extended yourself when you saw somebody else was in need. And then donate money or donate your time to causes that you feel are worthy, whether it's volunteers, whether it's Children's Hospital, whether it's cancer research, whether it's lupus, whether it's Alzheimer's. That makes you feel good when you know that you're playing a part. You might not be the scientist, you may not be coming up with the cures or whatever, but just knowing that my little bit, I'm going to keep putting my little bit in, because I'm going to put that and put some prayer with it, and maybe they'll come up with a cure. Maybe it'll make every little bit counts. And you always have to remember the woman with the 2 mites and how she gave that, and how Jesus said that was more than all the other stuff that the Pharisees gave, because she gave what she had. So giving your little bit, don't ever think it's little to God. It might be little to man, but it's not little to God. And number 16, make gratitude an everyday practice. Find something every day to be grateful for. First of all, be grateful for waking up. Be grateful for being able to have your right mind. Be grateful for having the activity of your limbs, being able to walk and talk and think. You know, you've got to start recognizing God, because without him, none of us could do anything that we're doing. This podcast wouldn't even be possible without God, and I recognize that, and that's why before I go on, I get my quiet time. I don't want to talk to nobody. People can't drop by. On my Thursdays, I need my hour before the podcast starts, because I'm so thankful to God just for an opportunity to talk to you guys, because I know that's nothing but him. And then gratitude is one of the best things you can do. And it's a reminder of how blessed you are. When you're grateful, you're reminding yourself, those things will start rolling through your mind. When you're thanking God, you'll start thinking about, you know, when I didn't have that money and God made a way out of no way. My kids had food today. We have a place to live. All those things will start pouring into your spirit and reminding you of why you're so grateful. And that's why it's so important. Be appreciative for every little thing. It may seem small to you, but for somebody else, if they could have that little bit that you're looking at like it ain't really nothing, it would change their whole life. So learn to be grateful for the small thing. Gratitude is not only your best self-care, but it's also healthy for you. It's healthy for your mind, it's healthy for your body, and it's healthy for your spirit. Because when you're grateful, you take care of yourself a little bit better. When you're grateful, you don't mind praying. When you're grateful, you don't mind turning on that worship music and giving God his praise. You know, it does something to you physically and mentally just to be grateful. And it also reminds you that your life is already great, that God is going to just add to what he's already doing. Because a lot of us can look back and we can think of times where we wish for the life that we have right now. We wish for the peace that we have right now. We wish for the love and the self-esteem that we have about ourselves now that we didn't used to have. You know, we wish for, you know, just the peace of mind. You know, some of us have been through some stuff to where we just used to lay in the bed and cry and crave peace. And now God has given us peace of mind. So we need to make sure that we're thankful, because somebody out there wishes they had what you have. And the more you appreciate, the less I can't even say it today, the less dissatisfaction you will have with your life. If you stay in a mind of gratefulness, you have less time to complain about what's not working right. If you keep your mind focused on how good God has been and how God is going to make a way just like he did the last time, you don't have time for those negative thoughts to pop in your head. And the benefits of living a life on purpose and living a positive life and making up your mind that today is the beginning of the best day of your life. There's benefits to that. When you spend your time thinking on the goodness of God and how you know that God has not forgotten about you, That's purposeful living. When it's important to you that what you do counts, when it's important to you that you set an example, there are benefits to that. And the first benefit is a sense of peace. When you know that you're putting your best self forward, when you know that you're doing the best that you can, that you're trying your best to please God, that you're trying your best to treat everybody right, there's a sense of peace that will come over you that people won't even understand. And you can have chaos going on in your life, but you will still have that peace down on the inside. And you'll have peace knowing that God has a plan and those things are going to work out. Whatever didn't work out, just know it was part of God's plan and He's got something better for you. That's that sense of peace you have when you think positive and then you walk your life out on purpose. Number two, you'll have clarity about your goals. You know, when you know how you want to live, you write those things down, you're going to do what you got to do to get there. How, Consuela? You're going to do what you do. That's the benefit of living your life on purpose. When you write it down, you're going to do everything you can to try to get there. And that's living that purposeful life. You're doing things to try to get to the goal that you see for yourself, that you set out for yourself. And that's living on purpose. And that's trying to stay on the path to the right direction to try to get to your goals sooner rather than later. And you have to be willing to reach out to the resources that can help you meet your goals. You can't think that you know everything. None of us know any and everything. So you guys, when you're trying to reach a goal in your life, if you stumbling along the way or you struggling with it, find somebody that's already there and ask them to help you get there. People will help you if you come to them the right way, if you come to them with the right spirit, and you come to them with a sincere heart. But you got to let that pride down because you don't know everything. You don't get everything right. And go to people humbly and just say, you know what? I'm really trying to get to where you are. This is where I'm at right now and I'm stuck. Can you help me? Do you know why I'm stuck here? Can you help me get over this hurdle? People will appreciate you for being honest. People will appreciate you for just being transparent and being humble and not thinking that you're all that and not coming to them with an attitude and a nastiness in your voice. You know, as if, well, you know, you got here. I don't know how you got here. You know, I should be here too. I don't know what's going on, but if you got here, I should be able to get here. Nobody's going to help you because you came with a nasty attitude. So a lot of times we need to humble ourselves. And when you are living your life on purpose, you know when to speak and when not to speak. And if you don't, God will teach you. Ask Him to help humble you and help you with your mouth if you're always running away with it and sabotaging everything. And sometimes part of your purpose is being that person that somebody can call when they're in a crisis, or somebody, you know, just like that lady I told y'all about earlier. She was so pretty and coming for her appointment. I never would have imagined that she told me how depressed she was yesterday and wanted to kill herself yesterday. And the thing that she told me, because I walked over and I hugged her when she told me that, because I used to work with her, and it just threw me. And so anyway, after I finished hugging her, I said, you know, I want you to hang in there and I want you to hold on. And if you ever need anything, you let me know. And she said she had a Christian friend that she called yesterday when she was thinking about hurting herself. And that friend prayed her through. And see, sometimes that's your whole purpose, you guys. We think that it's a little bit of nothing when people say, girl, pray for me. Sometimes people are saying it like that, but they're really broken on the inside, because sometimes we dismiss it like, all right, girl, I'll pray for you. Yeah, I'll pray for you. But sometimes they want you to really look at them and look at how they're saying that, because a lot of times we miss things because it's such a cliche to just say, girl, pray for me. You know, girl, you know I will. You know, sometimes we don't even look at people and look at the expression and what their body language is saying. Sometimes it's deeper than that. Sometimes if you'll go ahead and pray with them right now, those tears will fall. And you'll find out it's a lot more to it than what she wanted to tell you. But now that she knows that you truly care, that you'll truly pray for her, she'll open up. and she'll start telling you what's going on so that you'll know how to specifically pray for her situation. So sometimes that's our purpose in life, to be that person that's there for somebody else. Because just like this woman was there for her, I dare say she probably didn't know that she was thinking about killing herself when she called her and asked her to pray for her. I'm sure she didn't tell her all of that. But you just never know what people are going through. Like I say, we good about covering it up on the outside. And like I say, when I was going through what I was going through, I knew how to cover it up. I knew how to wear nice clothes, nice shoes, all this and that. I know how to make appearances. But sometimes I just wish somebody would have just took my hand and say, you know what, let's pray right now. And I did have one person do that. It was a gentleman that did that. And the tears just fell. It was just a relief that came over me that somebody truly cares about what's going on with me. It's not just that, okay, girl, I'll pray for you and go on. Because sometimes we do that too much. And then we leave a person hanging, and they're dealing with what they're dealing with, and they feel empty. And sometimes just your strength and your spirit, just standing there praying with them will transfer some of your, and they'll feel the God in you. And sometimes they just need to feel God, because sometimes we're the only God that people are going to see down here on earth. And so they need that human touch. They need that person that actually cares about them, and it's just not going to wave it off like it's a little bit of nothing. Because it's a big deal when people ask us to pray, and a lot of times we take that for granted, and that's why sometimes we forget to do it. But make a habit of when somebody asks you to pray for them right then, because you're going to get busy. Things are going to come up, and we just take that for granted, that person looked at you and said, pray for me. It's something inside of you that made them feel like something in you could get a prayer through to God where they were failing. So don't take that for granted. That's a big deal, and we need to do better about that. And then another benefit of living a purposeful life is your health will get better. Your physical and your mental health, it'll get better when you live life on purpose, when you're not just doing things to be doing things. Everything has a purpose. Everything is about moving you to that next level. Your health will get better, mental and physical. And you'll find out when you live a purposeful life, all that little old stuff, little snide comments that people make, stuff that used to bother you and have you upset for days at a time, that stuff will start sliding off your back. Because once you realize how blessed you are, and that God is walking with you, and that God's got a path for your life, and that you live in your best life, and you proclaiming that over you, you ain't gonna let them haters drop nothing on you. Everything they try to drop on you, every little comment, every little, little snide remark, little kiki, little joke, all of that, you'll learn to let that roll off, because they can't touch the blessing that God has on your life. And you have to believe that for yourself, and stop letting other people affect your mood. Stop letting people take your joy and steal it from you, because you're giving it away. But we always say that stole your joy. No, you gave it away. So understand that it's bigger than them. You're on your own journey. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody. You are the one that has to make the decision to live a life that's going to help you be the best person you can be. And you guys, my final thought is living your best life is totally possible. It's not about what it looks like. It's not about what people see on social media. It's not about fitting into some kind of pattern or something or some type of group. It's all about you making things happen in your life, and you deciding what you want, and you going forward. So sis, go on and live your best life. Make sure your life is full of purpose. That way, when you look back on your life, you won't have any regrets. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry about the internet problems. Looked like it was popping in and out. But anyway, love you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Everybody stay hydrated. This heat, this humidity is Got a lot of people's allergies acting up. You know, take care of yourself. Make yourself a priority. Make sure you're drinking plenty of fluids and you're getting plenty of rest, you guys. I love you guys. I will talk to you later, and y'all stay blessed. Take care. Bye.